Hey, welcome back. Many of you are probably starting photography businesses at the moment, especially after the pandemic. There's been a lot of upheaval in the world. So I wanted to give you 5 useful tips to get yourself going and make sure that you're heading in the right direction. Now, the first one is something which is actually kind of scary to do for a lot of us, and that is to have a very clear and defined niche. It's very difficult to be a photographer who does everything because no one's really sure what you're good at. You're kind of the handyman of the image world. So make sure that you have a very clear niche and a very clear style within that niche so people know what they're booking, who they're booking. And even though it seems scary, they're going, well, do you know what? I don't do family portraits. I don't do weddings. All I do is this. And for me, for example, I just do pop art style food images. It actually makes it easier to get bookings because people go, we need a pop art style food photographer. There is one. We will book him. And it's a real big thing. It's a leap of faith, but trust me on it, it pays dividends. So the next thing is about pricing. Now, when it comes to pricing, there's a lot of business advice out there that says what you should do is work out your costs of running the business and then work out your profit margin, the days you want to work and all that stuff. That's great. That works great in some industries. It does not work in photography. There is a saturation point. There is an upper limit as to what people are willing to spend on photographs, regardless of how expensive your business is to run. A better way to work things out, especially at the start, is to work out what the going rate is and then to build your business overheads under that. And if that means that you can't have fancy lenses, you can't have fancy lenses, because the reason most photographers fail is because they buy all the kit they want and then realize you can't actually charge enough money to pay for it in that particular genre of photography. Now, the next 2 points are kind of mashed together a bit. The first one is to have a good website, which is idiot-proof. No fancy drop-down menus, no fancy weird stuff going on, just a nice, easy homepage is your portfolio. The first thing we should see is your work, not some enter now page or where do you want to go page, but just here is my work. And the second part of this is to be easily contactable, which is a difficult word to say. We don't want to have to send emails to people when we're booking somebody. If I try and book a service and the only option is an email, I'm not sending it because I don't know whether they're even active anymore. So I might send an email and never hear anything back because the company's bust, or they might reply in 3 days or 1 day, whatever it may be. I want to see a phone number that I can telephone and speak to a human and get in touch with them. Likewise with contact forms. I can't be bothered to fill out a contact form, especially if I need to email somebody for them to reply to me, for me to send them a document to see if they're happy to do it. I want to know that I can just contact them straight away, so have your email address listed and a telephone number so people can send you the document, give you a call and go, I've just sent you a brief through. Can you have a look at it and let me know if this is something you want to do? Now, the last one kind of is for all businesses, and that is for the first 3 to 5 years. Keep your business assets and your fixed overheads as low as possible. You do not want to be carrying loads of camera equipment. You do not want to have huge repayments on things. You want to reduce all of your overheads to as low as possible, accept that for the next 5 years it's going to be that way, and then try and work around that. You don't want to be getting cameras on credit. You don't want to be leasing a huge studio space if you don't have that guaranteed income yet. Yes, there's a certain amount of risk that needs to be taken in business, but this is less business advice in that sense. This is more just keep it low, keep it small. If you need loads of kit for a big shoot, rent it. It's a one-off payment. You bill it to the client. You don't have to worry about all the extra stress of keeping that gear, maintaining it, and paying for it as well. Anyway, these are some really simple little tips that can hopefully start you in the right direction. If you have any questions about the business side of photography, drop them in the comments below. I'll try and make some videos on them. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.